This is the Barbecue Central Radio Show, which is recorded live each Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The Barbecue Central Radio Show is being brought to you by The Barbecue Guru, the original creators of automatic temperature control devices, now offering 4 different models for you to choose from. Rest easy knowing that The Barbecue Guru is controlling your pit temperature so you can get on with your life. Visit bbqguru.com or call 800-288-GURU for more information. And by Fred's Music and Tasty Licks BBQ Supply, your online barbecue and grilling superstore. From cookers to grills, wood chips and chunks, and everything in between. Also be sure to try the Tasty Licks barbecue brand of rubs and sauces. Check Fred out online at tastylicksbbq.com. And by Stephen DeFranco Jewelers. Located in beautiful Willoughby, Ohio, Stephen DeFranco Jewelers is a family-owned and operated business looking to service the great folks of the barbecue and grilling world. Get free shipping and big discounts by mentioning my name and the term Barbecue Brother. Check out their inventory by visiting StephenDeFranco.com. And by Butcher Barbecue, with 30 years of experience in retail, wholesale, meat markets, food service, and customer service. Using that experience, everything they do and sell at Butcher's Barbecue comes from real-world knowledge. Check out their award-winning spices, sauces, marinades, and injections by visiting ButcherBBQ.com. Always trust your butcher.
And by iGrill. The iGrill is a Bluetooth-enabled cooking thermometer that allows you to monitor the temperature of your food and smoker or grill from up to 200 feet away. Using the free iGrill app for your iPhone, iPad, and Android devices, you can set preferred temperatures, and your smart device will alert you when it's ready. It's perfect for cooking steaks to perfection or low and slow smokers overnight. Head to iGrill Inc., that's the letter I, grillinc.com to learn more. And by Barbecuer's Delight Wood Pellets, the barbecue wood pellet choice of competition cooks and backyard hacks just like me. The perfect blend of 2/3 oak and 1/3 flavor wood gives you that right BTU burn and flavor that you're looking to get all over your meat with smoky goodness. Visit bbqrsdelight.com. And by R&O Smokers, a custom pit builder using innovation and art in each of their cutting-edge, offset, and vault-style barbecue pits. Located in the heart of Texas near Fort Worth, Granbury has been the home to R&O Smokers since the beginning. R&O Smokers has continued to widen its range using visionary planning both on the design level and the quality of craftsmanship to bring their customers the finest custom pits on the market. Please get in contact with Billy, BILLIE _RO Smokers at yahoo.com or Tony at Tony _RO Smokers at yahoo.com or visit their main website, RNO Smokers.com. And by Green Mountain Grills. Discover something you're really going to love. Cooking with pellets. Green Mountain Grills are widely available across the country. Top-of-the-line manufacturing, but not the highest in price. Visit greenmountaingrills.com to get started on your pellet adventure today.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. Sorry, I'm late. Sorry. Wow. Literally racing in the door. Not even kidding for a second. So much so that I don't even have all of my stuff set up here that I need to. I can't see into the chat room right now, although I'm sure a lot of the normal guard is in there right now. Well, that's what I did. I hit the wrong damn button. Not very smart on that one, I gotta admit. All right, so now we got the chat room back up. Hey, gang, how's it going? Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show. This is a show that talks about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling, broadcasting live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It is the barbecue capital of the North Coast, so don't fret over that for 1 second. We have been proclamated as such. We will live as such, and I got to admit, I hate the way I am looking on the camera right now in a, looks like my damn head's cut off. I mean, what the hell? It's this stupid chair. Moving out of this freaking house has ruined everything. This could be, where am I at? I got a little bit left here. Moving out of this house, man. I'm telling you. It's ruining a lot of things. Mostly my sanity and my dignity.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Lots of great things going on in the world of barbecue and grilling tonight on the show, so hopefully you've strapped in. If you didn't get the newsletter, shame on you. You should be signing up for that at the website, thebbqcentralshow.com. You can also find the archives and all this other show stuff related to what we do here each and every Tuesday and Wednesday on the website. You can also, right now, blast off a Facebook post or a tweet and let everyone know you're watching it. A couple different websites to check out. If you want audio only, you can do that at my website, thebbqcentralshow.com, which is also listed down here in the crawler. You can also catch the video side of things at outdoorcookingchannel.com. If you do like video via the live big screen, you can catch that on Roku. It's Internet Protocol television at its finest. Download the Outdoor Cooking Channel app. And then pick the live stream during Tuesdays from 9 to 11 or Wednesdays from 9 to 10. And you're off and running without having to leave the couch. Not only is the show great in radio fashion, it's great on the high-definition video as well. Gotta be honest. All right, I got an email from John Kelly. It says, Greg, due to my work schedule, I typically download and listen to your shows on the weekend. Just want to let you know how much I enjoy and appreciate your shows. You're one of the best interviewers I've heard, and you are always well prepared. Thanks for putting the show on and making them available to everyone. John, cheers to you, my friend. Thank you for the kudos. Appreciate that. Also got an email from a guy named Bill. Now, hold on a second. Drum roll for this. Bill in China. That's right, the communist city of China. Greg, many thanks for the fix. Audio auto-loaded when iTunes was booted. Neato. So obviously he was having an issue. Obviously I might have fixed it. While I got you here, a couple of other queries. Is JM from Celebrity Grill still around? No.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I mean, you know, that term is relative. Is he still around? I'm sure he's still around somewhere in Florida. Maybe he's not even in Florida still. Is he doing anything, you know, related to barbecue or grilling? No, not that I know of, not that I've seen recently. So that's an update on JM. And would you be so kind as to give me a solid clue into what he, JM, meant with that "it's the Shambono" quip? I guess I'm getting too old and I have no idea, and Googling doesn't help either. Thanks in advance. Thanks again. Later, Bill in China. Bill in China. China. As far as the Shambono thing, that's very simple. First and foremost, that I guess because I know every single soundbite of the show and where it came from and when it happened. To me, that sounds nothing like JM. And it's not. That should be one of the trivia questions. It's who says, and it's not, Charbono. Did I say Shambono? Somebody tricked me on that. Who's the guy that says Charbonneau in the open? Does anybody know in the chat room there when we do the second hour intro and it says Charbonneau, dude? Does anybody know who says that? Guy who kind of knows a little about wine and it's not JM? We'll see what happens. We'll let it up. We'll let it go up there on the instant chat and see what happens. A lot of that stuff in the second hour intro is, what I guess some people would call the industry. No, Don, it's not meathead. Isolated. So I'm taking, one words or phrases, and then I'm just spitting them up all in a line and running a little music underneath. And, it's fun and exciting, I guess you could say. But I don't want to say they're taken out of context, per se, but you're not hearing it in, the full format segment. For instance, let me give you a example here. Here's the second hour intro. So, of course, we all know that this is Oingo Boingo, Weird Science.
Happy to have you aboard
That's
here
me.
for the really big barbecue show.
We cook because we have to.
Now that
and
is
we
JM.
grill because we want to.
That was in the open.
Fine, how's it going?
That is Huck Sr.,
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Stephen Reichel.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
That's Dan from Wauchula. Used to be a frequent caller to the show.
Charbonneau! It's all about the Charbonneau, dude!
That's the quip he's talking about. None other than wine entrepreneur, legend, and media maven Gary Vaynerchuk. Charbonneau. Believe it or not.
Succulent fish.
That's me.
What?
He ate 54 wiener.
And Dan from Wauchula again. Gary Vaynerchuk.
Shaking like a dog shit peach seed.
John Marcus.
We have top men working on it right now.
Who?
Top men.
That last one, Top Men, is a conversation between one Indiana Jones who says, who? Like, this is some fat guy talking. Hold on. Let me run it back here.
Right now.
Listen for the who. This is Indiana Jones.
Who? Top men.
Yeah, like, how dare you question me, sir?
Big stuff out of here.
It's Top Men. Top Men. Used to be, a lot of that stuff is elements of a show that I thought, it really kind of, I don't want to say it highlighted the show, but they were just parts of the show that I thought were pretty neat. And, they belong in a little thing. I like to do my productive production skills, kind of show off for you guys a little bit, make it sound professional. I always say I try and do the show for if I ever got a call from the big people, terrestrial radio or Sirius radio or whatever, and I had to meet a clock or a 2-hour show or a 1-hour show, the show could make the transition from as it sits now in its internet radio stardom phase and could easily transition to a regular house affiliate business or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's kind of how we do the show. All right, let me get my read here. I got a new one. Here we go. All right. Oh, I didn't print it. I got Top Men working on it right now, I can tell you that. All right, let me tell you something. The next, folks, great news. Sit back and relax. Because the next generation iGrill has arrived. That's right, folks. You can now pre-order the iGrill Mini at iDevices.com/iGrill. That's I, like the letter Devices Inc.com/the letter iGrill for $40. Better yet, $39.99. The iGrill Mini has everything you love about the iGrill and so much more with a smart LED that indicates the progression of your temperature and lets you know when you're in and out of temperature range. Proximity wake up to conserve battery life, and an outstanding battery life at that of 150 hours. Wow, it's a lot of SpongeBob. You get all these awesome features in a pocket-sized device at half the price of the original iGrill for $39.99. The iGrill Mini with 1 meat probe and 1 probe wrap. The iGrill magnetically mounts to your grill or smoker, even comes with a attachable magnet in case you have a ceramic smoker or another non-magnetic surface. Now, a little info on the product itself. The iGrill is a Bluetooth-enabled cooking thermometer that pairs with your Apple or Android device. Using the free iGrill Pro app, which can be downloaded in the iTunes App Store or Google Play Store, you got range up to 200 feet. You can monitor your food from practically anywhere, and basically giving you that freedom to do whatever it is you want to get done. You can mow the lawn, you can watch the game, and the iGrill's got your food covered. So, again, it's $39.99 for the iGrill Mini. Pre-order yours now at the letter I, Devices Inc., I-N-C. iDevicesInc.com/the letter I and then grill /iGrill for $39.99. And yes, Centralites, tonight, one of the beginning of a string of 5 weeks of giveaways of a free iGrill Mini. Boom! Bring it! Yeah. So that's going to be coming up shortly as well. Bet you're excited about that. Bet you're even more excited for Steve Wilson coming up out of the break. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Hello.
All right, we are back. 877-448-0433. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Coming up at 9:35, Scott Roberts doing sauce and rub reviews. So everybody look forward to that. My first guest tonight, fresh off a win this weekend at the USA Barbecue Championship, which went off in Laughlin, Nevada, under the promotion of Ronnie Cates. Let's go ahead and head on over to the hotline and welcome first time to the show, pitmaster of the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal team, Steve Wilson, joining me here on the show. Steve, how are you, bud?
Doing great. Thanks, Greg.
Steve, appreciate you making time for the show tonight, and very happy to have you aboard. I guess, first things first for the people, people in California nowadays typically aren't from California originally. You born and raised out there, or are you a transplant like 98% of people?
Born and raised, but went to school in Arizona.
Born and raised in California and went to school in Arizona?
Yes, sir.
Wow. How does that happen exactly?
I played football.
There you go. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, this whole barbecue thing and, in a general sense, before we talk competition and whatnot. Is barbecue something that you have, been around and kind of grew up in, or is that something that you took an interest in maybe a little bit later in life?
When I was a kid, my folks took us across the country, and we went to a bunch of barbecue restaurants on the way across the country, and that sparked my interest. And ever since then, I've been trying to duplicate it and getting closer.
Are you, I guess the western portion of the country is typically seen as the Santa Maria style. I mean, it's changing now, but in the past it's been seen as the Santa Maria style barbecue, the tri-tips, the red oak, the pinquito beans, all that good stuff. Is that something that you're, intimately familiar with, or is that something that you weren't really, too happy to eat at that point?
I've been a griller, but I've never been a Santa Maria style griller. I just, hamburgers and steaks here and there. And then I got into this.
So at what point does it make sense for you, or how did you get introduced to the world of competition barbecue? Was it something you just tried out? Were you reading about it in papers? How do you get into this whole deal?
I was watching the Barbecue Pitmasters show on TV, and I called my buddy up, and then I said to myself and to him, hey, we can beat them. And we've been trying ever since.
So, like, was that the season one where they were following around like Johnny Trigg and Paul and all those guys, or was it even a little bit later than that?
It was the first season.
Wow. So that's the first person I've heard. I mean, I'm sure there's been plenty, but you're the first person I've actually talked to on this show that got interested in by watching television. So television actually works for getting people involved in barbecue.
Worked for me.
Wow. How about that? All right. So how many events are you typically, shooting for during the course here? Obviously, you don't have a huge amount of time in, but are you taking time during an off season to plan out, X amount of competitions, or you just add them as your schedule dictates?
I try to do as many as I can. I'm doing between 25 and 30 a year this year, and last year I did 24.
Wow, so you're jumping right into this whole thing. I mean, 25 to 30 would put you up in contention, I guess, for what many would consider to be a team of the year type of a schedule for KCBS. Is that something that you would like to put a serious chase after at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I didn't approach this year doing that. I actually just love doing it. I mean, the people out here are so wonderful to hang out with and all that. And then really the last 6 weeks is what is really, our 6 contests is what's really pushed me into the points chase. And I didn't do it intentionally. But now that I'm there, I would like to try to finish strong and maybe seek more points next year.
We're talking with Steve Wilson from the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal. Steve, I'm endlessly fascinated by, when teams form and decide to go ahead and pick a name. How do you come up with the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal? You guys like race car fans or something like that?
Huge race car fans. Big race fans.
Now, are you a NASCAR guy? Are you smaller than that? What's your poison when it comes to the four wheels?
Oh, it's pretty much everything. I love NASCAR. NHRA is pretty awesome. Formula One, I like. I'm kind of disappointed in the Indy cars ever since the two splits a few years back kind of ruined that. But if they move fast, I like them.
Steve, considering where you at, where you're located at, how far are you pushing out in the east or the central portions of the country to compete? Do you try and stay as local as possible, or does travel not really matter to you?
It matters. We went on vacation and did 2 in Colorado. We do pretty much everything in California and Arizona and Nevada. We're trying to do, and maybe even a couple in Utah next year.
Are you surprised, even over the last couple of years, how many events are actually taking place in the state of California as opposed to 3, 4, 5 years ago?
Absolutely. I wasn't privy to it that long ago. I started about 2.5 years ago, but even in my short time in the realm of competition barbecue, it's really blown up. I mean, we have twice as many contests as we had 2.5 years ago.
All right, Steve, so let's go ahead and take a look back at the Laughlin event this past weekend. Overall, just from a general sense, was there anything out of the ordinary that you had to contend or deal with, or was it a cook as usual for you?
I was pretty pleased. It was funny. I've been on this roll, and I knew that I had really good meat. And then I got there and I saw the competition, and I went, holy smokes, plans are going to change. I went to hope to be in the top 5, and when I got there and saw the teams, I'm going, man, I'll be pleased to be in the top, 50%. And it was a killer field, toughest field I've ever competed in, and it literally on my chicken turn-in, my wife looked at me, and I am never nervous, and I was shaking.
Really?
I mean, it was amazing.
When you're holding aside, that good percentage of really impressive teams that were there taking part, just the fact that contest had amassed 85 teams, and granted, Ronnie Cates known very well, A, for promotion, but B, and perhaps more importantly, the bigger prize purses when you're looking at what everybody else is offering in competition barbecue. Just does the sheer number of teams out there, is that at all nerve-wracking? Because, at least in my estimation, as I'm looking at it, when you see really big 85, 100, 600 team contests, you're almost inviting a little bit more of a crapshoot than if it's maybe the 30 to 40 teams.
It's definitely a little more, a little more push that you want to put into it. But we in California had our biggest ever 3 contests ago at Dana Point, an Arleigh Bragg contest, and we had 99 teams there, and that was amazing because at the Riverside had this is the hotel we were at in Laughlin, had so much room, and we were kind of spread out. You really couldn't tell there was 85 there, but when we were at Dana Point, everybody was packed in, and man, there looked like there was 3,000 teams there. So I mean, it's awesome when you have a lot of teams. I can't wait. We're going to do the Royal next year, and I can't wait for that.
A lot of teams there for sure. Steve Wilson joining me here on the show, pitmaster of the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal. You can find the website while we're talking here at thepitcrewbbq.com. If we break down the individual results just real quick, Steve, chicken, you turn it in. Hey, everybody loves to win a category, especially chicken. Maybe builds a little bit momentum as you go through the rest of the awards. Did you think that your chicken turned in, aside from being very nervous, as you mentioned a couple minutes ago, did you think it was going to be besting 84 other teams?
Actually, I did. I've been killing it on chicken. I'm using a rub that is just right on right now, and the sauce mixture, and I was able to get really nice bird this time. I used Sprouts, a local grocery store out here, and I had these birds that literally looked like breasts. I mean, they were huge, and I knew it was good. I knew it was good.
Is the rub that you're using on chicken something that people would be able to find commercially, or are you you devising something on your own?
No, it's commercial. It's I buy it through Big Papa Smokers, and it's one of the West Coast Offense rubs, and I use the stuff right out of the bottle.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
Now, are you injecting chicken? That seems to have really started to become quite a popular thing teams are trying to do. Obviously, pushing a little bit moisture, any way to get flavor in there. Are you partaking in using some of that stuff for the chicken end?
I am not. I wrap my chicken halfway through the cook to hold more moisture in, but I do not inject.
Interesting. Steve Wilson joining me here on the show. All right, so ribs, you don't get a call that. Well, I don't assume they're calling any farther out than 10th. But still, huge showing, 14th overall out of 84 teams.
They actually called the top 20.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Lucky bastard. So you got 4 calls the whole weekend.
Yeah, I was the only one to get 4, so that was pretty amazing. But my other 3 calls were kind of later in the realm of the 20, and I did not think I had won the thing. I thought it was Smoky Bees. I thought they'd get the team from Iowa.
You got first in chicken, you got the 14th in ribs. You get a top 10 pork, and then 20 briskets. So by and large, when you're looking at the amount of teams there, you're well amongst everybody else. You get 4 calls. Were you physically keeping track of the other teams and where those calls were, or were you just trying to guesstimate where you were going to fall amongst everybody else?
I was guesstimating. I knew we were going to be somewhere in the top 10. It was kind of funny. They announced 2 and 3, but he did them backwards accidentally. So when he corrected that, and I hadn't been called, that's when I knew we had won. And it was funny because a lot of our friends got their cameras out in front of us, and that really added to the pressure. I'm going, either I'm first or I'm 11th or back.
So you get the call for overall grand championship. What are some of those initial emotions that are kind of sweeping over you as you realize that you just took first out of a total of 85 team field, and some really good teams to boot taking part?
Yeah, I actually had tears in my eyes. I lost my dad a year and a half ago, and I was thinking about him and how he really he was able to come to one of our contests before he passed away, and every time I compete, I know my dad's there with me, and that's pretty cool. And all the friends and stuff. I mean, the barbecue world is just an amazing place. I mean, there was so many people that I know the faces of, but I don't know their names. And I mean, the texts and the Facebook posts and everything that has come since the win. I mean, it is just so darn nice. I mean, there's so many wonderful people doing this. It's awesome.
So, in terms of what this win means for you and for the team moving forward, is this like the best thing that's happened yet, or how does it rank amongst the things that you've accomplished so far in the short career?
This is definitely the biggest, because we've got 4 GCs so far this year. So, but this is by far the biggest. It's always nice to win, but my first GC I was by myself, and my wife wasn't there, and my teammates weren't there, and having friends and family there make it so much nicer. I can't stress that enough. I mean, this was my wife's first time that she was able to join us for a contest that I GC'd at, and it meant the world to me.
Conversely to that, when you're doing it by yourself, do you find that, when you have the other members of the team there, help is nice, obviously, like you said, but when you're doing it by yourself, do you find that you almost have more of a razor's edge concentration because you really can't afford to mess up on times or marks or anything like that?
I'm so anal. I have a book that I follow verbatim, and it really keeps me on track. But the nice thing is there is absolutely no distraction when you're by yourself. And even when we do contests out here in California, we do a lot of PC to the public where we feed. And I have a FEC 500, so I can feed a whole lot of people. And I still do all the competition barbecue, and my teammate does all the PC barbecue. So it's a neat relationship where I've always really cooked it by myself. It's just less people bothering me.
Steve Wilson joining me here on the show, pitmaster of the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal. Steve, last question here before I let you go. And there's a lot of teams that are probably listening, or people that are thinking about forming a team and jumping onto the circuit at some point soon. Maybe some people that have watched this season of Barbecue Pitmasters. What's your 2 or 3 biggest pieces of advice for people to consider to make sure that they're doing it the right way coming out?
I would say that take some classes. I've gone to 2 classes, and I've really learned a lot. You pick up little bits. Your first class, you don't know very much, and then your next class a year or so later, you pick up more and more and more. And things start to make sense to you. So education and then practice. I mean, we all love barbecue. That's why we do this. So, make a lot of barbecue and listen to what people say. One of my dearest friends out here is Matt Dalton from Left Coast Q, who's way up there and given me a ton of great advice. It's listen to the people that are better than you.
How many other events you got scheduled, or was this the last one for you guys this year?
Well, I'm on the waiting list to get into the downtown throwdown in Vegas, and then we have a double header at Lake Elsinore that I'm definitely going to do. So it's either 2 or 3, depending if I get into Vegas or not.
All right, Steve Wilson, the pitmaster of the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal, just walked away with the grand championship of the USA Barbecue Contest, which took place in Laughlin, Nevada. Steve, great to meet you and talk to you tonight, and really appreciate the time you gave to me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it. There he is. Steve Wilson, thepitcrewbbq.com. If you're wondering, check it out, thepitcrewbbq.com. All right, I got 2 minutes. I hate to do this. Get out of there. Damn cat eating wires. The show cuts off in the middle of the show. It ain't me. It's a damn cat. I was starting to feel bad for that cat until it decided to start eating my wires. Why do cats eat wires? Hey, dumb cat, don't do that, okay? Is that possible? All right. We will have a giveaway coming up out of the break. Uh-oh. Just getting an email from Scott Roberts. Never mind. Everybody hold their breath. Slightly. As I tell you about Butcher Barbecue. Look, folks, I could sit here and do this read like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to do it. The bottom line is this. Dave Bouska has been competing for any number of years now. He has honed his products to the point where, he uses his own products when he's competing, okay? He's not like some of these other people that are just trying to, make a buck or develop something and then, I don't really use that. I use something different when it counts. He uses the stuff that he makes for sale to the general public. Right there in barbecue competition. You saw him do it on the Barbecue Pitmasters this past season. Used all of his own stuff. And you need to take advantage. Dave, well known for the injections, the pork, the beef, the prime injection, of course, Bird Booster now, which, as I was talking with Steve Wilson, a lot of pitmasters are starting to inject their poultry. And Bird Booster is going to give you 3 times more moisture retention than your traditional brining would. So check that out. Also, he's got the sauces, the rubs, and, when we talk about injections, there's a lot of other people out there making injections. Maybe you were one time a very loyal Butcher Barbecue customer from injections, and then you decided to go buy somebody else. And you're like, geez, this stuff just isn't cutting it. I'm not getting the... What the hell was that? Telling you, I'm going to get knocked off the air. People aren't giving you the compliments that you were once getting. Yeah? Well, you don't want that to happen. No problem. Go to butcherbbq.com, go to the trade-in link, and then print off the sheet, send whatever you have commercially left of that crappy injection. Send it off to Dave. When he gets it, he will weigh it, and in return, and at your request, he will send you back Pork Premium, Prime, or the Bird Booster injections. Hey, not only is he making his own customers very happy, for the ones that thought the grass was greener, hey, he's going to make the competition customers happy as well, and that's with the trade-in link. So look, you got Bird Booster, you got the Prime, the beef, the pork injections, you got the sweet sauce, you got the honey, the steak and brisket rub, the honey rub, the premium rub. If you can't find it with Dave Bouska, you're probably not going to need it, and you know it's going to be good. ButcherBBQ.com. Always trust your butcher. We're back with a contest right after this.
Get in the smoke.
Now, the time on the show when we give stuff away. Gonna give it away for free at no cost. So get ready to send that email right now.
All right, thank goodness you don't see what's happening behind the scenes. Oh, my God. I just had a fist fight with a cat. I think I lost. All right, your chance to win a $20 gift card to the Barbecue Superstore. TheBBQSuperstore.com is the email, the web address. Thanks to Richard Parker and the gang over there. $20 is up for your grabs and behest with an email, Steve Wilson SoCal. Steve Wilson SoCal. You can win a $20 gift certificate from the Barbecue Superstore. Steve Wilson SoCal. Good luck.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Big B, Moonshine Band, Suburban Noise Records. Let's go! I'm an outlaw. Give me 2 shots.
All right, back at it. 877-448-0433. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Leave a video. Why would I leave a video message? Ray's waiting for me, Skype. God, get your act together. All right, joining me now, a monthly contributor to this show, dubbed significantly the official sauce and rub reviewer of the Barbecue Central Show. We race over the hotline and welcome back good friend of the show, Scott Roberts, joining me. Scott, how are you, man?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing, Greg?
Doing absolutely fabulous, Scott. Appreciate you making time for the show as usual. I guess before we get into the oh boy, now look at me. You can't see you, can you? Of course you can't. Hold on one second. Let me add you. There you go. You still there? Scott. No!
Get that big stuff out of here.
Well, that was a shame. There's a problem with this call. Hold on while we try to call back. Eat me, Skype. So lame. I don't understand how these calls drop. And it has nothing to do with anything else. Ask Dr. Barbecue. Rib roast. No. Steve Wilson SoCal. Jason. Jasen. Jason. You're a winner. No need to send me your shipping info. I will forward your email address on to Rich Parker, Jason, and he will be in touch on how you collect that $20 gift card from thebbqsuperstore.com. Don, obviously it's a bandwidth problem. I mean, not on my end. I've only done the show for 16 years. Scott lives out in the woods of St. Louis. I think he lives in St. Louis. We should ask him if he ever gets back on the show. Maybe we should just do an audio call. That is less bandwidth. How do I do just an audio call? Ugh. Maybe like this. I'll just stick a picture up of him. I got a cute picture of him. We can use it. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, Don, I don't know.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently...
Shut up. I hate that lady when she does that. All right, hold on a second. Let me give Scott the hotline number to call in here so we can get him plugged up. Remember, I don't think Scott lives by the Kingsford plant. If I can pull back the curtain, I don't think any human lives by the Kingsford plant. That one is Bell, Missouri, I believe. And it is, it's a site. I can tell you that. It's a site. All right, I got to call him now. Add number 3. Give me 1 second. Listen to this. See if we get Scott now. No.
This is Scott.
Got it! All right, well, the cell phone still works.
Yeah, thank God for old technology.
I know. Jeez, heaven forbid. All right, so Scott Roberts joining me here. Scott, before we get into the products, which we'll have to do here in just a few short seconds, is there anything ragingly newsworthy in the world of fiery foods?
No, not really.
What is going on? When is the newest pepper going to be coming out to blow people's butts off?
You know what? I think all of that is becoming so much old news.
No.
There's currently one called the Carolina Reaper. Very hot, very closely related to the, Trinidad scorpion pepper. Really genetically, not a whole lot of it different. I think that is going to try and make some claims. I'm not going to say if it's dubious or not, but it claims as the world's hottest. And I imagine some of the news outlets out there are going to pick up on it and kind of report it without looking into much research. But other than that, there are no big contenders that have come along, I would say, in the past 6 months that would say, hey, I'm definitely the world's hottest now. nothing like that.
All right, so nothing hot going. Pardon the pun. Nothing hot going on in the world of fiery foods right now, according to Scott Roberts. All right, but we do have 3 hot things going on for review, and that's why we have the official sauce and rub reviewer here on the show each and every month. The first thing that you're going to be telling us about tonight, Scott, is Big Daddy's Applicious barbecue sauce. So, you know me. Part of me is very excited because I love apples and barbecue sauce. The other part of me is like, did they put applesauce in barbecue sauce, which I don't personally like. So now is the big reveal.
The big reveal, there is no applesauce in the ingredients list. It does say apples. I don't know to what extent. I'm not a huge fan of fruit and barbecue sauces.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't like any fruit, apples, peaches, what have you. It's used the right way, but it's usually not. And this one is yet another one that contains the dreaded liquid smoke.
Oh boy, now we've hit an issue. All right, that's fine.
But to me,
what does it?
Even though I tend to agree with you on liquid smoke not being very good.
Yeah.
I cannot tell much. I can't detect much of that flavor in this one. This one is your general all-purpose kind of sweet, ketchup-y, fruity flavored barbecue sauce. And if it's one of these sauces, if it's aimed towards the general populace, the people who aren't hardcore barbecue fans who just want something like your generic Hunt's craft type barbecue sauces with some apple flavor, it's not going to disappoint them.
Looks like it's family owned and operated by Big Daddy Ike Seymour and his wife Arnsey.
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website. That's why I know that.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, I tried this on. I'm trying to think of what I actually grilled this with. I believe it was pork steaks. It did not do too bad of a job. My boys, my girlfriend, her kids, they tend to like things in the general category. Their taste buds aren't really that. They really can't detect, all kinds of different flavors, and their palates.
They're not.
Like the
you're saying they're not. They don't have refined palates, discerning palates.
Correct. Like most of the listeners of the show do.
Right.
So as far as being a crowd pleaser, this sauce was, to me, it was very middle of the road.
All right. Size, price, and where can you get it?
Okay. It comes in a 16-ounce bottle, and you can get it at BigDaddy'sBBQ.net. And, of course, as fate would play its cruel hand, as soon as I looked today to see if it was on the website, I think they actually took it off. So as of this moment, I don't know if they're selling it, if it was just a specialty item for the summer, and here with the wintertime coming up, they're deciding to halt production. I don't know, but you may want to inquire Big Daddy's at that website, BigDaddy'sBBQ.net. See if they still have a bottle if you're interested in this.
Yeah, and if you haven't opened one that you have in your midst right now, keep it. It could be a collector's item just that quickly. All right, Scott, next thing up is the rub portion of the show. It's the Golden Toad Prime Steak Rub, and I believe I know Golden Toad to some degree. I've seen him on boards and whatever. This is a competition guy.
The Golden Toad, run by Todd and Sarah Jobert, great guys. They know their flavors. I mean, they have hot sauces and seasonings and sauces all across the board, very high quality, and this is no exception. This is one of the, sometimes the actual texture of a rub or a seasoning could really affect what this tastes like. This is a very coarse rub, big, huge chunks of everything in there, but I absolutely love it. Great flavor balance. Of course, you get the salt, but it's not too dominant. There's pepper, there's garlic in there, and just enough of spice to kind of satisfy me, but it's not going to turn away anyone who isn't a chili head. This stuff is outstanding on steaks and burgers, as, of course, the name implies, the prime steak rub. It just is excellent on beef.
Sounds absolutely delicious. I'm always a big fan of the more coarser cut rubs myself, but we all have personal preferences. In regards to size and price and where you can get it?
Okay, comes in a 6.75-ounce shaker bottle. Runs for $7.95. A little pricey. That doesn't include shipping, but I think it's worth it. And if people want to get it, just simply go to goldentoad.com.
All right.
And my overall rating, I would have to give this a top 10 call.
Wow, top 10 call. All right, beautiful. We should probably go back. Did we give Big Daddy's Appalicious barbecue sauce a rating yet?
No, I don't think we gave an official rating. I would give it an oven baker.
Oven baker. Beat it.
Get that big stuff out of here.
General population stuff. Oven baker. That's about right.
General population. They may like it a little bit more than I did.
All right, last one up tonight that you're going to be reviewing, Scott, is the Heartbreaking Dawn's Meridian Serrano Grilling Sauce. Sounds a little hot.
There was a little bit of heat to it.
Yeah.
This is not one of those things that's just going to completely blow your mouth wide open with flames, but there is quite a bit of spice to it. Thankfully, the flavor is prominent in this one. It's a very tomatoey sauce, a little bit of a tang, and there are a lot of people who like the flavor of battle peppers, from St. Augustine, Florida. This sauce utilizes this wonderfully without having too much of the burn. It's not, like I said, it's not going to scald your mouth, but you do get a lot of that spiciness. There's actually kind of playing supporting roles, a little bit of peachiness as well. And this one utilizes that fruity flavor just in a spectacular way, in a way that I would like it, without, completely dominating the flavor.
Yeah, peachiness, you said, right?
Peachy, yeah, peaches.
In a good way. I've rarely found that to be in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, good. All right. So size. Well, what do you see this working best on?
This is an all-purpose sauce.
Huh.
It has enough of the savoriness to kind of work on some of the meats, beef and that, and it does well on pork and chicken. So if you're looking for something which is great balanced flavor, a little bit of heat, and some sweetness too. And this is also a thick sauce. So if you like things on the runny end of the scale, this probably wouldn't really appeal to you. But this is pretty much good on everything.
All right, and you can go to heartbreakingdawns.com to find this. And you're looking about $8.50 for a 12-ounce bottle. Overall ranking for this, Scott?
This is another big top 10 call.
Wow. Almost grand champion. We've had a few of those this year, I'd have to say, but those last two sound like... Could you pair the two top 10 calls together in some form or fashion, do you think?
You probably could. I haven't actually done it. It's great. I had used both on the same weekend. I didn't even think to combine the two.
Hey, now you got something to do this weekend, Scott.
There you go.
All right. You can find Scott Roberts at scottrobertsweb.com. He is a fiery foods expert, and you find him here once a month reviewing sauces and rubs. Scott, always appreciate the time, and we will look for you at the end of the year in December.
Oh, looking forward to it, Greg.
All right, Scott. There he is. Thanks so much. Scott Roberts, scottrobertsweb.com. If you need him, and we got a giveaway coming up onto the break if you want to do that as well. So I got to grab. I'm sitting farther away from the... Jim, I think you would be good for that sauce. I don't think it's going to make your throat swell shut. We're working on setting up a interview with the Arno Smokers. It looks like they're going to be hosting a Arno shootout, cookout type thing. Very excited to talk to Tony and Billy about that in an upcoming show sooner than later. I just got an email from Tony actually tonight, so we'll hook that up here in next week or so. Arno Smokers, by the way, is a custom pit builder combining innovation and art in each of their cutting-edge offset and vault-style barbecue pits located in the heart of Texas. Near Fort Worth, Granbury has some of the best smokers, but has been home to the Arno Smokers company since the beginning Arno Smokers has continued to widen its range using visionary planning both on the design level and the quality of the craftsmanship to bring their customers the finest custom pits on the market today. Now, if you've been looking for a custom pit without the hefty price tag and some of those long waits, lead times that some of the other manufacturers have, why not make this your first choice to take a look at? You know, we're not sitting here trying to press and say, hey, you got to buy this, you got to buy that. If this is something that you're considering or you're in this market, why not take a look here first? I encourage you. In fact, mention that you heard about Arno Smokers on the Barbecue Central show. Receive an additional discount off the already low price. Now, for more information, follow their link to their Facebook page, which can be found on the Barbecue Central show website. Click on the logo at the right, or visit the sponsors page or the links page on my website, and you will get to their Facebook page just that easy. Now, if you're not a, big website guy, email. They like emails too. Billy, B-I-L-L-I-E, Billy_RO Smokers at yahoo.com. You can also email Tony, T-O-N-Y, Tony_RO Smokers at yahoo.com. Once again, Billy_RO Smokers or Tony_RO Smokers, both at yahoo.com. And don't forget to check out their Facebook page regularly for weekly drawings and giveaways from their barbecue partners as well. And again, you can find their Facebook page easily by going to my website, thebbqcentralshow.com. Click on their logo on the main page, or visit the sponsors page or the links page, and that will get you right over to their Facebook page. You can go from there trying to win free stuff. As a matter of fact, we're going to give away free stuff right now, and it's going to be very exciting. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Now's the time on the show when we give stuff away. Gonna give it away for free at no cost. So get ready to send that email right now.
All right, folks, your chance to win the free iGrill Mini. Got to drink a succulent water there because I'm so excited. All right, you can win a free iGrill Mini right this very instant. 1 penny under $40 retail. You can get it at the letter I, Device, D-E-V-I-C-E-S, Devices, Inc., I-N-C, iDevicesInc.com. Bluetooth technology here for your convenience. Send me an email, first one in. And you have to email me, Scott Roberts, Ass Blaster. Scott Roberts, Ass Blaster, for your chance to win a free iGrill Mini. Again, $40 retail value from iDevicesinc.com. That's iDevicesinc.com. Pre-order yours today and get a lot of cool features that the regular iGrill doesn't have. Scott Roberts, Ass Blaster, and you get to win. Good luck.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. I'm just waiting for the returns to come in here and see who's first in. We got a winner. First in, Paul Richardson. Paulie! And like they all just raced in here. Wow, look at that. Sorry to a number of you, but Paul Richardson gets the win. P-A-U-L. Got to make note of this. Paul, do me a favor if you're listening. You better be listening because you just played the game. Send me your shipping info. A new email, say, in the subject line, just say iGrill Mini winner. And then send me your shipping info so I can get that down to the folks over at iDevices Inc., iDevicesinc.com. Sylvie Curry was number 2, Don. Don, you know where I come from? You know what number 2 is? First loser.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Win or hit the bricks, pal, because you are on your way out. I didn't even see Don Geiger in the entrance there. Were you there, Don? I don't think he was there. Fear not. Fear not. The good news is this. 4 more weeks in a row, you're going to have the option of winning. The option. Of course, you want the option. You're going to have the chance to win a iGrill Mini next week, week after that, week after that, week after that. Last winner could be somewhere damn near Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thanks to Steve Wilson for joining me in the first hour talking about the big win in Laughlin. 85 teams there, by the way. I'm trying not to ask teams about the whole judging sheet. You know, that's going to be an issue, I think, for the overwhelming majority. Maybe it's not going to be that big of an issue. But I think for teams that are out there that see how they're finishing on certain tables, as I've said over the last number of weeks, the sheet, while I applaud absolutely the want of transparency, which I believe is crucial, sometimes things come out that need to be rectified, like the fact that it seemed that there was a myth of hitting the bad table, and it has been proven out without any doubt whatsoever that bad tables do exist. And, you can win you can win the brisket and points, but the pork or the chicken or the ribs, it's just drawing something positive, drawing something else. I'm sure they'll fix it. They'll be great. It'll be great. Never mind the fact that I'm asking people to come on and they don't want to talk about it. I understand. It's fine. Remember, I'm pro KCBS. I think what they're doing is great. Sometimes you just do some stuff and it brings to light some other issues. They'll rectify it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. If I have confidence, you should have confidence. All right, we're pointing to the second hour. Lots of great stuff there. One more giveaway. Sweet Smoke Q-Juice from Jim Elser. And we have a huge roundtable coming up as well, which I'll tell you about at the top of the hour when we do a little bit of a reset. So lots of great things to get to, plus you if you want, 877-448-0433, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. 877-448-0433, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. And we'll check you back here in just about a minute or so. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan. So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shake a face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
That's right, top men. And just like that, we are into the second hour. There we go. 877-448-0433. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Just when I thought I was going to read an email. Better not.
Get that big stuff out of here.
John, if we're being honest, I've noticed that too. If there's John Dawson from Patio Daddy, if you're listening, you should email me or you should call me tomorrow so I can let you in on a much bigger secret than what we're talking about that nobody else knows what we're talking about. Yeah. You would be amazed at the story I will relay to you about this. Back in the very first hour, we talked with Steve Wilson from the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal, winning the Laughlin, Nevada event. Congratulations to him on quite a roll over the last 6 weeks or so. And then, obviously, we talked with Scott Roberts from ScottRobertsWeb.com, going over some rubs and sauces. The first sauce was bad, and the second, Patrick, I don't think you would really care too much about. That's all right. Now, hold on. A responsible BOD will address the bad data with a well-thought-out solution. I trust that a process is the other way. Yeah. Like I said, I'm so not worried. I couldn't be less worried. Mostly because, I don't compete. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do about it? What is this? Oh, right.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Coming up on the show still tonight, we have a well-formulated roundtable. There is a huge competition. In addition to the World Food Championships, maybe nobody even knows about this. The second annual Kingsford Invitational will be happening this weekend. Right. The same Kingsford Invitational that somebody here went to live and in person last year. Yeah, that's me. And not this year.
Get that big stuff out of here.
What gives, man? What gives? Why you ain't want to have me out? Yo, what I do to you? What? Nevertheless, aside from the World Food Championships, the second annual Kingsford Invitational, that is a 50,000, maybe it's 60,000, I forget, winner take all. We're going to talk about that whole build-up coming up this weekend with 4 of those pitmasters that will be in it to win it, as we say in the business. As a matter of fact, I got to go back into my email here and make sure that what's his name? Oh, yeah, Clint. How do I forget that guy? Got to make sure I got my team set. So, in case you didn't know, taking part in the Kingsford Invitational, and you have to win certain contests across the 2013 season in order to be eligible. First one is the Houston Livestock and Rodeo winner, and that is across the tracks, if you're not familiar. Memphis in May winner, of course, Mark Lambert's Sweet Swine O' Mine, who will be in on this call next segment. Last year's KCBS Team of the Year winner, Dan Hickson. Oh, he'll be in on the call also next segment. American Royal Open winner, that was Iowa Smokey D. Oh, yeah, he'll be on the call too. Yeah, that's right. Jack Daniels winner, Tuffy Stone of Cool Smoke. You win the Great Lenexa barbecue battle like Pork and Mindy did. You get to go to the Kingsford Invitational. A new one this year. I don't believe there was one last year. The military team, not sure exactly what that is. Qology gets to go to the Kingsford Invitational. And then rounding out the list of invitees, the winner of the TV show Barbecue Pitmasters, of course, that was Rod Gray from Pellet Envy. Oh, yeah, he's going to be on the call, too. What? Yeah, there's pretty much a lot of talent coming up in about 10 minutes from now, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. And we're going to talk a little bit of build-up for that. Why not? All right, I got an email from Paul Richardson. Greg, the California Barbecue Association is hosting a screening of American Smoke next month in Riverside, California. Mitch Sonati, one of your guests from a few weeks ago, will be on hand for the event. Mitch will be providing an overview of the film and answer questions after it. We will also be hosting a potluck before the screening. Details below. CBBQA, California Barbecue Association members, arranged the potluck and a great evening to have a UC Riverside November 16th. So that's coming up in about 10, 11 days from now. We'll have a potluck dinner at 7, followed by West Coast debut of American Smoke, a documentary about Competition Barbecue Plus. The documentary's producer, Mitch Sonati, will be flying out from Philly, and we'll take and answer questions after the showing. Paul has also arranged a hotel discount at the Marriott Courtyard for 89 Bones. Call him directly, 951-276-1200, and use the group code CBQN. Tickets for the screening are $12, cheap. And they're available through Paul Richardson, and you can contact him at, brave, 714-809-7427. Or you can email this person, the Wills, W-I-L-S, the Wills83 at hotmail.com. California Barbecue Association is getting this whole evening donated at zero cost to the California Barbecue Association. 100% of the proceeds will go to a children's charity that the CBBQA supports. Yeah, there you go. By the way, love the addition of Wednesday's show, and the folks at Roku owe you some cash. Your show's the only reason I bought one. Hell yeah, Paul. Hell yeah. Wait a second. I'm just putting two and two together. Folks, not only is he working through California Barbecue Association to promote a barbecue documentary, the son of a bitch won the iGrill Mini. Paul, look at you. Go out and buy a lottery ticket. Things couldn't get much better right now. You won the iGrill Mini, and bang. And now you are rolling right along. We get in. John sends me these great emails. I can't read.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I can't read that email, especially after you called me a barbecue or a Kingsford hater, something like that. I don't even know what that means. Still to come on the show tonight, the round table that will be taking up possibly 2 segments. So refresh your drinks and strap in for what's going to be a great talk of barbecue in general. But, of course, a lot of the stuff is going to be focused on the Kingsford Invitational. Again, Rod Gray from Pellet Envy, Mark Lambert from Sweet Swine of Mine, Darren Worth, Iowa Smoky D's, Dan Hickson from Three Eyes Barbecue. Lots of talent there, lots of wins amassed between them and their barbecue careers, to say the least. Probably 758,000 wins. So, yeah, there you go. And again, folks, in the West Coast, if you are looking to take in a screening of American Smoke, that's going to be November 16th. A potluck dinner at 7, followed by the West Coast debut of American Smoke. And again, Mitch Sonati will be on hand to field questions after the fact. Talk a little bit about it before, but then take questions after the showing. And again, you can get rooms for $89 at the Marriott Courtyard, 951-276-1200. Use group code CBQN, benefiting a children's charity that the California Barbecue Association promotes. So, hey, there you go. Help out. Help out the kids. And get your barbecue fix on at the same time. If I mention these words to you, longest running sponsor of the show, does anybody have any idea who I'm talking about? You know it's the Barbecue Group. A staple partner of this show without any doubt. Bob Trudnak, even before his unfortunate passing, Shotgun Fred Perkle teaming with this show to really get the word out and promote the good technology that the Barbecue Guru is disseminating out there for not only the competition circuit, but for backyard people just like me. Now, if you're not familiar with how these little beauties work, You know me, I'm not the guy that likes to break into the minute details on certain things, but if you could imagine a product that allows you to set your pit temperature in one set, that keeps it running at that set temperature all the way through the cook, yeah, it sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, it's not. This is real life. You can take advantage of this technology right today, or this evening, or in 2 weeks when you listen to the show on download. Now, maybe you're a busy working professional like me, or perhaps you are constantly on the run with kids, doing errands, and quite frankly, you just don't have the time to set around and 10 pit temperature. Barbecue Guru allows you to throw on a pork butt or a brisket, a couple slabs of ribs, and then you're off to do whatever it is you need to get done, and the Barbecue Guru maintains the pit temperature you have it set at. There are currently four different models to choose from. You have the CyberQ Wi-Fi unit, which is by far and wide the one that is most popular in sales. And quickly running up behind it is the opposite end of the price spectrum, the PartyQ, which I affectionately refer to as the hooker of automatic pit temperature. Why would you say that? Why would you make such a bold statement? Because look, if this is a unit, that being the PartyQ, where you can take it from a Weber Smoky Mountain, you can put it on a Weber kettle, you can put it on a Kingsford kettle-style grill, you can put it on a bullet-style cooker, you can really, then if you get the special extra $10 attachment, you can put it on all the Kamado-style cookers. Big Green Egg, the Primo, Grill Dome, Kamado Joe, Bubba Keg, Acorn. Did I miss any? Kamado. Works on all of them. Runs on AA batteries. It is completely self-contained. So you can take it from one to the next. Plus, they got the Onyx oven. Visit them on the web, thebbqguru.com, or call them 800-288-GURU. They'll make sure you're outfitted with exactly what you need. Get you up and running right out of the box. The Barbecue Guru, a breakthrough in barbecue technology. Fingers crossed that I can put this call together. Swear to God. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
(877-448-0433). Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. This coming weekend, while many folks will be heading west to Las Vegas for the World Food Championships, my next guests are heading east. Some of them literally doing it right now as we're going to talk, to take part in the second annual Kingsford Invitational. Joining me tonight are the pitmasters from Iowa Smoky D's, Sweet Swine of Mine, Pellet Envy, Three Eyes Barbecue. Let's welcome in. Well, hold on a second. Let's just do it the hard way here. Let's see who we can pick up here. All right, Dan is in.
Hey, this is Rod. Leave me your message.
Rod is not in. Dan, are you there, Dan? Anybody?
Hello.
Who's this?
Darren.
Darren, hello. Rod, are you there? No. And Mark, are you there? Wow. Darren, I am currently 1 for 4 right now.
Well, that's okay. We can talk about all those guys.
I'm no mathematician, but my odds of winning, or my odds of losing are 75%. Damn it. What? Let's see here. I don't want to just dump you off here, but if I could, let me try and just call everybody back, and whoever makes it on the second, or well, I guess this would be the third attempt, stays on. Everybody else, piss off. All right, so I'm going to call you right back.
Okay.
All right. Darren Worth, Iowa Smoky Knees. He's a good guy. How hard can this be? How hard can calling 4 people be? Hardly hard. Fucking call failed. I don't get it.
Hey, this is Rod. Leave me your message. Thanks.
Ray. Boo. Boo. Darren, you're still there, aren't you?
I'm here.
This guy is the man. Oh. This is a disconcerting time. Well, I mean, what can you do? Darren, we're live and in charge here, so we're going to have to press through, and hopefully some of these guys know what the real call number is to the show, and we'll just jump in unsolicited. So here's the deal. I was just giving a big talk up saying that there's probably a lot of folks that are actually doing the exact opposite of what you and the other three guys that we're going to be on, and the rest of the teams competing, heading west to the Las Vegas for the World Food Championships, but you guys going east, going to New York City, where the second annual Kingsford Invitational is going to be taking place. First of all, appreciate you making time for the show, and I know some of these guys are actually kind of in transit, so that could be affecting why they're not getting on the show, but lots to get into. So if we could, before we get into the Kingsford Invitational portion, all this stuff, Darren, let's be honest. I mean, you've been having a very good year. You've been doing a lot of contests. If you look back over the course of maybe a year or two, you weren't out as much. You had some, business interests going and so forth. So, as we sit here on November 5th, where you're sitting at the rankings and the season that you're having, how are you evaluating the Iowa Smoky D's season so far?
Well, I mean, we've had a great year. We've had a fun year. We really didn't have any goals at the beginning of the year on what we were going to do, we weren't really chasing a team of the year status, and we were just cooking, and we were having fun and said, hey, let's cook next week. And then we cooked again and then said, hey, let's cook next week. And pretty soon, you got 36 contests underneath your belt.
Is it, because I'm sure there were years when you're out there and I don't know if you, well, let me ask this question first, I guess, before I ask. Are there years where you say, hey, we're going to go after Team of the Year, where everything that we do is going to have some type of part and parcel to get us to that potential end product, or does it not really work like that for you guys?
It really doesn't work like that. If you're going to go for the Team of the Year, I think what you have to do is you have to focus at the beginning of the year and say, I'm never going to go to a contest less than 50 teams. And I'm going to stick to that all year long. I'm going to find a contest no matter what, but I need to cook 35 contests, but every one of them is going to be a 50-plus team contest. Well, the problem is we have a lot of contests that are 25-team contests that we're going to continue to go to. They're our favorite contests. We have some 15 first-year contests that we're going to go to. We're just not going to miss those. To us, it's really not worth it to try and win Team of the Year. If we did, that's what we'd have to do. We'd have to take the 50-team contest.
Does it seem more fun in this type of a schedule where you're just kind of adding and cooking as you go, and the success that you're having, the success that you're having is, I don't know if it's making it more fun each weekend when you go out, but I have to imagine that's probably the case. But is it easier to build a schedule as you go versus trying to hunt down and have everything nailed down before you actually get started during the course of a year?
Oh, yeah, it's much easier just to, we have certain contests that we know we're going to go to. But we didn't know until 2 weeks ago that I was going to be in Laughlin, Nevada this past weekend. And then sitting there in New York, coming up, getting ready to go to New York City with less than a 24-hour turnaround this week.
All right, so while we get into that, this is the second annual Kingsford Invitational. I just shout out the phone number to all these other guys. Hopefully they jump in here in just a second. But if not, we're good. This is the second annual Kingsford Invitational that's going to take place this coming weekend. I was actually at the inaugural event last year. Saw it go down live. Not as lucky this year for whatever reason, but, different topic for a different day, of course. We start dissecting the event itself. How about refresh the audience as to how you actually qualified to be able to cook in the Kingsford Invitation?
Well, we qualified by winning the American Royal Open in Kansas City back in the first weekend of October.
All right, look at this. I'm going to get to add your good buddy here. Rod, you there?
Saving the best for last.
Well, it's you and Darren Worth right now. I'm waiting for the other two to still show up. I don't understand. Everything working all right?
Bastards.
That's all right. Rod, Darren was just recounting how he found his way to the Kingsford Invitational this coming weekend. For the folks that perhaps aren't familiar with how you are able to cook there, what did you do?
I just won this season 4 of Barbecue Pitmasters, and it was an automatic berth into the Kingsford Invitational.
All right. Let me back up just a second, Rod, since you're in here. I was just asking Darren, before we got into the whole dissection of the upcoming Kingsford Invitational, a lot of people are going to be going out to the World Food Championships. You guys are going to be taking part in the Kingsford Invitational. From a team perspective, Rod, you've seen a lot of success over the years. As you sit November 5th right now, how are you gauging where Pellet Envy is sitting for the 2013 competition season?
You always want to be in the top 10. You always want to be in the hunt. I'm not in the hunt again this year. Last year it was a medical issue. This year, the travel and the stress of the Pitmasters thing, even though it seemed easy, once I won that, I relaxed a little bit. You can see a much stronger start to the year than you can a finish to the year. But don't count me out, Darren. I'm going to cook well this weekend.
Well, I'm sure everybody's going to be putting their best foot forward. Also joining the show is Dan Hickson. You there, Dan?
I'm here. Sorry I'm late to the party.
Dan, that's all right. We got 3 of 4. We're missing the Memphis in May winner currently, but that's all right. Dan, you probably caught the tail end of that question. Obviously, the reigning 2013 KCBS Team of the Year, as we sit November 5th here, kind of give us a snapshot of how your season's going and, what you think of how things have transpired so far.
Well, the season's winding down for us. We only got 2 competitions left. We got the Kingsford last, and then we're going to do King of the Smokers. So started out the season strong. Last year we had an amazing year with 11 Grand Championships. This year has been the year of good finishes, but not outstanding finishes. 3rd place, 4th place, 2nd place. Still a great year, and we're thrilled. But ready for the season to wind down and start the next one.
Dan Hickson, Rod Gray, and Darren Worth joining me here on the show. Pitmasters of Three Eyes Barbecue, Pellet Envy, and Iowa Smoky D's, respectively. Dan, let's go back to you here. You obviously are into the Kingsford Invitational because you're the current the reigning KCBS champion. On the whole, Kingsford, synonymous with grilling, obviously. Live fire cooking in general, probably nobody bigger in the industry than them as far as charcoal is concerned, especially when it comes to the brand recognition. Were you surprised at all to see them kind of come out of the sponsorship stable and get into actually putting on an event that would be like an invite only? And in the end, do you think this helps spread the word of the brand?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. They're definitely up there as far as people using their products. And I think putting on a TV show like this and putting up the prize money for a contest definitely gets them a lot of recognition.
Rod, were you surprised to see them take a step out of their comfort zone and get into putting on events and, as Dan said, kind of shoot a TV show around it as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is something new for Kingsford. I think they're looking for different angles to show people that some of the best cooks in the country use their product. I know last year was kind of a learning curve. They ended up in central Missouri and out in the middle of nowhere. So this year they've retooled, and we're going to do it in the most populated city in the U.S. So I think they're working on an event that could be a top-notch stellar event for years to come.
Darren, your take, surprised that Kingsford got into the contest portion of this?
Well, no, there's no surprise. It's kind of what they both said, it's really not a big surprise they're in that arena, but it's given them tons of exposure. When I look at it, I'd rather be cooking in Bell, Missouri this weekend than New York City. I can tell you that.
Darren, speaking from firsthand experience, no, absolutely you do not. Unless you like cows that much, you probably don't. And wind, cows and wind, maybe you do. Maybe do you? I could be taking way out of
Greg, people from Iowa love cattle.
Hey, well, that's a soundbite I'm going to isolate and put in the beginning of a show. I can tell you that. All right, Rod, let's go to you for the next question. this event is a bit unique in a few different ways, one of which is on Friday. You have this One Bite Challenge, which will take place, as I just said, Friday night. First, do you have your One Bite Challenge recipe honed in, or is this something that you're actually still dialing in as you're driving to the NYC?
No, we had to submit recipes, so it's as dialed in as it's going to get. Although I will tell you that I think just to psych me out, Darren shared a little bit of his with me today, and I don't even think I'm going to turn mine in. I think I'm going to lobby to judge just so I can taste his. But I've practiced mine. I think you can. There's a post on Peloton video of a steak I cooked over the weekend, doing a little practice just to make sure I get my timing down on a Weber kettle. And yeah, I've worked on it, honestly.
Dan, so I mean, Rod's kind of let the cat out of the bag. Obviously, you have to have something dialed in. Are you comfortable with what your One Bite is going to be? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, like I said, we had to submit recipes. Thankfully, I haven't heard Darren's recipe, and don't tell me because I don't want to be psyched out. But no, it's simplicity at its finest, really. I mean, 5 ingredients, 1 is steak. I mean, there's not a whole lot of directions you can go with it, or at least I didn't think so. So we're just going for simplicity and cook right, which is kind of our formula for barbecue, too.
All right, Darren, so obviously, according to Rod, you have a very good recipe up your sleeve. Anything that you could share with us? And is this something that perhaps we would be finding in a Smokey D's restaurant?
Hey, before he answers, Dan, you and I should just eat our steaks and then eat some of Darren's, too. That's what I can tell you. Maybe we can eat in front of the judges. I don't know, but I think that's what we should do.
I've seen Rod act like this before. My recipe, was
just call me a sandbagger.
You are. You always have been. My recipe was developed over beers at a bar between 2 guys. One was a butcher and one was an avid griller in the backyard, 2 very good customers of ours. And what's special about the recipe I think that I'm bringing is not only do they ask you to do a One Bite Challenge with 5 ingredients, with one of them being steak, but they also want you to represent your hometown or your region of the country and be able to tell a story about it. And we're putting different things like blue cheese and prosciutto and all that all come within 25 miles of our hometown here. So if it doesn't turn out very good, at least I've got a great story.
Stories are obviously now, so this is very interesting because last year One Bite Challenge was there, but there was no need to present something that had something to do with the region of the country that you were in. So obviously this is a new twist that they have added. Darren, is this something that you embrace? You like storytelling? Did you see yourself making your way over to the Memphis Barbecue Network and being able to do that stuff too then?
No, I don't see myself getting over there. I can tell a story with the best of them, but that Memphis and May, the MBN network, that seems like a lot of work. Those guys spend a lot of money and a lot of work, and I just, it just seems like a lot of setup and a lot of show and tell that really not interested in. But, it's fun. As far as the One Bite Challenge, it's one of those things that it's kind of like the ancillary category at a barbecue contest. Normally we don't do, but, kind of this one, you kind of have to do it. I'm not
Darren, you don't have
to. Yeah, you don't have to, Darren.
But, we go through it, and, it's part of the show, and it's part of the, as far as, a challenge with the grill. We practice it. I've eaten so much steak, I could care less whether I had another steak in the next year as far as getting the timing down of how things go on. So we haven't practiced it in a week, but, we'll do it. We're going to be in different elements. I'm sure the wind's going to be blowing out there, and the conditions aren't going to be the greatest in the world for grilling, but, that's okay. It never turns out as it does in the practice run, but we'll give it an old college try.
Dan, are you excited to be presenting a dish to the judges, or are you not a fan of the public speak?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. We ventured into not the Memphis MA, but MBN contests before. I think we've done 4 or 5. we like doing that. I had to present in front of the judges when we did our season of Pitmasters. So, the story, I have a little trick up my sleeve for the story as well. I'm not going to give that away. It's probably better than the recipe if it comes together right.
Rod,
You're a
obviously,
team,
you are well versed at giving classes and stuff like that. So I would assume that the talking in front of people isn't nerve wracking. But does having to describe a dish add any added pressure to you at all?
No, I don't think so. I think that'll be the fun part. Honestly, it's going to be loose and relaxed. And but you know what? I want to shift gears a little bit, Greg. Don't forget. Either of these guys will tell you that major barbecue contests have been won by tenths of a point or even 100,000th of a point, and we get a 1 point advantage. Whoever wins this gets a full 1 point advantage. It could be a big deal.
Rod, do you not think I do my homework for these interviews? You just blew my wad. God, I was leading you down the primrose
send me a
path.
check.
Gee, for what? For ruining the show?
check,
God damn it! I was going to say that you win that. I think you also get like a check for $10,000 or something like that. But more importantly, you get that extra point to be applied to the overall score for the next day. And as you mentioned, Rod, we've seen competitions come down to thousandths of a point this year. So a whole point could be huge, as you just mentioned. Rod, will you be reining in the social aspect of the event on Friday to really get that extra point?
I don't even know what you just said, but by the way, I think you just agreed to match the $5,000 check from the Kingsford One Bite Challenge. So the Barbecue Central Radio Show, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
just agreed to match the 5 and go for 10.
Unlimited cash here at the studio.
I have no idea what you asked me. Can you dumb that down for this Kansan?
Yeah, because of the 1 point advantage, will you be kind of drawing yourself away from the public and really focusing in a little bit more to get that 1 point advantage?
No, I don't know. No, why? It's got to be fun. It's a hell of a drive. We got to have some fun with it.
Darren, will you be available to the public as well, or are you going to be game face on?
Well, no. I mean, I'm not sure how much public's really going to be involved here. With the filming and everything, I'm really not sure that public element's going to be part of it. Maybe it is. But we're going to be our normal self. We're going to be, out barbecuing, and we'll probably be drinking a few beers, and I guarantee we'll have a 922 shot.
Dan, last one before we go to break. Would you rather have the point? If you had to choose, would you rather have the point going into the next day, or would you rather have just $5,000?
I'll take the $5,000.
Damn right.
The point comes with it.
God damn right. Give me that money. Give me that money. All right, guys, do me a favor. Stick by. We're going to take a quick break here. We're talking with Rod Gray, Darren Worth, and Dan Hickson, Iowa Smoky D's, Pellet Envy, and Three Eyes Barbecue, respectively. Folks, quickly before we get back to them, we're going to be talking about Tasty Licks Barbecue Supply. Fred Bernardo, a longtime sponsor of this show, and I was just talking with him on the phone the other day, and he's like, hey, last time I was on, we talked about the Kamado cookers. We talked about how we were starting to sell these Meadow Creek cookers as well. But make sure that people know that if they're looking for Oak Ridge brines and rubs and the Plowboy stuff and the Smoke on Wheels products, we have those as well. I said, hey, Fred, no problem. I'll get that out tonight, which is just tonight. And, of course, the Tasty Licks Barbecue is the Big Green Egg headquarters, including many items for the egg you really can't get anywhere else. A lot of these things are being specially made for Fred because he has such a stronghold on the Big Green Egg industry. And again, ready to ship to you at a fair price, promptly. Also, Tasty Licks carrying Harry Sue's new chicken rub. He won the 8 Grand Championships last year with that rub, also the chicken category. And, of course, if you're looking for injections, Fred carries them all. He's got the Cosmos Q. He's got Butcher's Barbecue. In regards to automatic pit temperature control devices, he carries the Barbecue Guru and their associated accessories. Also a Green Mountain Grill dealer as well. Fred hosts a lot of classes on his own right there in the general public in Shillington, Pennsylvania. He's bringing in some of the top teams in the industry to do competition classes and more amped-up backyard-style classes. Dan Hickson was one of those guys that was out there at Fred's Music and Barbecue recently. So pay attention to what he's got going on if you want to step your game up in regards to competition or backyard cooking. And, of course, teams. I said it before, I'll say it again. Tasty Licks, your competition headquarters. Competition teams, you can get your pans in different sizes, the aluminum trays, the gloves, the thermometers, turn-in boxes for practice. You got to make it your one-stop shop. TastyLicksBBQ.com, the place to go. So head on over now. And really, if you're looking for a little entertainment, watch those videos that Fred puts up on his page as well. Lots to choose from. Not only fun, but very informative. And Tasty Licks carrying their own line of rubs and sauces that does pretty well in the competition trail. Got to try those. And when you order, drop Fred a line. Tell him you heard about him here on this show, and you like his support of the show, so you're going to help him back by ordering some stuff from him. TastyLicksBBQ.com. That's TastyLicksBBQ.com. We're back with Darren Worth, Rod Gray, and Dan Hickson in 5 seconds. Stick around.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, we are back. 877-448-0433. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com if you want to jump in tonight. All right, we pick our conversation back up with 3 of the 4 pitmasters that I had scheduled here. Mark must be in a very low-lying area of a cell phone because, Rod, are you still driving or have you pulled off for safety?
No, I'm in my hotel room. Hey, by the way,
yep.
Tasty Licks sells the crap out of this killer line of rubs and sauces called Eat Barbecue, and I have it on good authority. They've won a few contests.
All right, well, nothing like we're going to save the plugs to the end, Rod, but that's all right. Let's get them in midstream as well.
I'm just blowing your whole night, aren't I?
Hey, that's all right. This is your last time on the show. You might as well get used to it. So, look, Saturday will come, and the traditional 4 KCBS meats will be prepared, then turned in for judging. Dan, let me start with you. There's a team from Texas, Across the Tracks Rodeo, or Across the Tracks, who run the Texas Rodeo Cook-Off. Qology, I guess I'm not hugely familiar with them. I did a little bit of internet research, but they don't seem to do a huge number of events. And then you have, guys like yourself, Rod, and Darren, and the rest of those guys, Tuffy. KCBS cooks through and through. So do you see yourself in an advantage because there's going to be a lot of similar style cooks there, or because you might have 2 or 3 that aren't as steeped in the KCBS mastery as you guys are, that potentially they might stand out because they're not going to be cooking necessarily the same way?
I don't know. Advantage in this group is kind of tough. And like you said, I don't know everyone in this group either, but I mean, hats off to Darren. I mean, he's been tearing it up lately, and Tuffy's been kicking everybody's butt too. So, I mean, those are 2 outstanding cooks right there. If there's any advantage to be had, it is really nice to be 3 hours away from home. Not to rub it in, guys, but I am very happy it's not in Missouri, and it is actually on the East Coast. So if there's an advantage to be had, that's it.
Darren, do you think that a team like Sweet Swine of Mine or a Qology might have a little bit of an advantage because they aren't steeped in the KCBS traditions?
Well, I'm not sure they have an advantage, but I mean, you typically look through there and you say, well, the Texas cook isn't, used to cooking pork, so that's something that's not that they're used to doing. And you think about the Memphis and May, you talk about Mark Lambert, not cooking brisket on a normal basis. I was thinking that the other day, and then here he goes and gets 8th place brisket at the Jack. So I think it's anybody's game, especially when you talk about celebrity judges. And I don't know who even the judges are this year. And we haven't been told that. Maybe somebody else has. One of the other guys can chime in. But, you get into celebrity judges. I mean, it's like a regular barbecue contest that has celebrity judges. I mean, could be all over the board.
Rod, do you think that some of these other teams that aren't KCBS might be able to, maybe advantage is a wrong word, but do you think they might stand out in a positive way because there's not going to be a lot of similar tasting products?
I think it's just going to be the guy that cooks the best food that day. There's going to be some MIM folks in the judging tent, or at least there were last year. Last year the MIM team won the event, walked away with it actually.
Yep.
Didn't need the extra 1 point, absolutely murdered the rest of the cooks. So it's wide open. It's an any given day thing. You put your best food in the box and everything clicks for you. It looks beautiful. It tastes great. It's got fabulous tenderness, and you're going to win the event. And nothing short of that's going to win the Kingsford on Saturday.
Darren, will you be getting at all out of your normal profiles for this contest because of the judging system and the judges that will be in the tent, or is it just going to be, normal just like every other week for you?
I think it's just going to be every other week. I had thought about making some changes, to kind of stand out, but the other day I just said, you know what, just cook your cook. You've had a good year. Keep cooking it. Good barbecue is good barbecue, no matter what part of the country you're in and whoever's judging it.
Rod, any tweaks?
Change it up, Darren.
Yeah.
No, I'm cooking my same stuff because I'm going to get Darren to change all of his.
Does Darren know that?
He's going to be
well,
really mad when
thought about it.
He's going to be really mad when I beat him with my salt and pepper brisket.
Dan,
no, I'm going to be really mad when I bring you ribs and you beat me with those. That's when I get mad.
Dan, are you gonna do any tweaking on those flavor profiles, or are you gonna stay hold the line just like the other two guys?
No, I'm going to try and get these guys to continue doing smack talk through turn-ins and just do our normal stuff.
Miss the clock, smack talk. All right, we're talking, by the way, with Darren Worth, Rod Gray, and Dan Hickson, Iowa Smoky D's, Pellet Envy, and Three Eyes Barbecue, respectively. One of the things, guys, that I like most about this event is that it is a winner-take-all type of a situation. So, one team is going to walk away with like 50 G's on Saturday night, which is a pretty good pull for a contest to be sure. But, if we're getting hypothetical just for a second, I know Rod loves when I do this, in terms of applying that rule to winner take all, would that murder just about everything popular about the world of competition barbecue right now? And I'm looking at it like this. The majority of events have pretty weak purses overall. Is winning a $100 check for chicken or a $2,500 check overall making that big of a difference in the big picture? I mean, wouldn't you rather have a shot at winning the whole effing thing or just going home with your ball, Rod?
Did you say going home with my balls? Is that what I heard you say? We may have a bad connection.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's a lot of adrenaline. Whoever wins that $50,000 on Saturday is going to be one happy cat. I will say that.
Yep.
And they may be buying dinner for the rest of us. I'm not sure about that yet. But I don't know. When you cook 35 events a year, to get the opportunity to cook an event that pays $50,000 in one shot, it's a lot of fun. But I want to do that every contest? Probably not. A lot of people would be very poor, and a few people would be very happy. So in this case, yeah, it's awesome. It's probably great for television as well, for somebody to stand there with a $50,000 fake check. But overall, it's probably not a good thing for barbecue if it were every weekend this way.
Dan, would you like to see winner take all every weekend from here on out?
No, I mean, Rod said it really good on that. I don't know anything else to add.
I'm sorry, what was that, Dan?
I said what Rod said was right on point as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't think it's good every week. It's very exciting for TV and for us this weekend. Someone's going to be pretty happy at the end of that, and there's going to be a couple people that are not so happy. But yeah, every week I think that'd be a little much. At least to be able to recoup travel costs would be nice.
Darren, you on the same mindset as Rod on this one then?
Well, no, because I'm not a money guy. Do they have trophies? Because I'm hoping they have trophies.
Yeah, they got a big trophy too.
Well, as long as they got a big trophy, then I'm fine with it. Since my wife doesn't listen to the show, I'm really not focused on $50,000. I truly am not. I'm just hoping they have nice trophies.
Hey, but we got to have goals, and if it's not $50,000, it's got to be big-ass trophies. All right, so aside from the one-bite challenge, where use of the Kingsford fuel, I believe, is required, will any of you be using Kingsford charcoal during the Cook Friday night into Saturday? Darren?
Well, yeah, I'll use it to light the pit, and then I'll use it to finish my chicken on Saturday.
Rod?
Yep, I'll use some of it during the contest, that's for sure.
And Dan?
How can I disagree with that? I mean, who knows who's listening? Of course I'll be using Kingsford charcoal, as well as probably some Walmart meat.
Hey, Greg, you didn't just pick three decent cooks. You picked three cooks that were smart enough to answer that question right.
Goddamn right. Where's that damn Mark Lambert? All right, so looking at the list of who will be there, and we'll start with Dan on this. Who do you think your biggest competition is going to be? And look, none of you guys puss out and say it's going to be all the teams because I don't want to hear it. Bring it strong. Who do you think is going to be your biggest competition?
I think Tuffy's always the strongest competition when he's cooking against us, so that's who I'm going with.
Rod, who do you think is your toughest competition coming up this week?
The judges in that tent are my toughest competition. We're not. This isn't a beat down. We turn our food in and somebody rates us. It's not about that. It's about the judges, Greg.
Darren?
Well, they all have distinct advantages. I mean, all these guys, Rod, Tuffy, Dan, I mean, they've all been, on the Pitmaster thing, and they've all been filmed on TV. They've been under the pressure of having the camera in their spotlight. We've really never had that. So that's going to bring a whole new element to us. My wife gets frustrated when somebody walks in the trailer. When we're trying to do turn-ins, even if it's a good friend or a relative or something like that, she kind of goes crazy. So I'm going to have her on some meds of some sort, I think, or give her a lot of beers before turn-ins so that she settles down, because some things get kind of crazy there. But, I would probably have to, if I point towards it, I would point towards Tuffy. Tuffy is, he's such an anal cook and very meticulous. I guess Rod is too, but Tuffy with winning the Royal and coming back and winning the Jack, I guess he'd be my pick.
I was just going to mention Tuffy here. This character, for not cooking a large number of competitions this year. I mean, obviously he's busy with the TV thing. I think he's maybe cooked like 3 or 4 contests this year, but won some big titles. 7. Okay, whatever. Who's counting? American Royal Invitational. He wins a few weeks later, grabbing the Jack title, stiffing me on interviews. But who's keeping score? If he wins this event as well, is it safe to say that in regards to coveted titles and events teams really want to win, could he be stringing a month together, perhaps the likes we haven't seen in some time, Rod?
It'd be like we haven't seen ever, I think, would be a better way to put it. I don't know if anybody's ever won the American Royal Invitational and won the Jack Daniels in the same year. You throw the Kingsford Invitational on for $50,000, and I think you've got one hell of a year.
Darren, agree with Rod with if he is able to pull off the win. Is that something the likes we've never seen?
Oh, it is. It is. But, I hope Tuffy's listening because, he did get 36 at the Sam's Club. So, and I'll be reminding you of that. I'd like to play a little head game with people. I'll be reminding him that him on, Saturday morning, I'm blowing him up and then punching him right in the nuts and telling him, "Geez, what happened with the Sam's Club?" So,
Dan,
it'll be a lot of fun.
Hey Dan, you and I need to pool our money and get some gin buckets going for the Smokey D's camp after seeing the pictures on Facebook from last weekend. Gin buckets are the way to go.
Dan, Tuffy, obviously, very close to you guys, and you compete against him quite a bit when he's out there. If he wins this week, I mean, that's going to be pretty huge for him in a season that he didn't really compete a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of another cook out there. I mean, I need a lot of cooks in a row to get any kind of consistency going. And Tuffy doesn't seem to need that. It's kind of amazing. I mean, he can compete every once in a while and still be at the top of the charts. So, but yeah, to be able to string 3 of those in a row would be absolutely epic.
Rod Gray, I'm sorry. Before I let you go, guys, and I appreciate the time tonight, Dan, we'll start with you. Anything you'd like to plug or mention before I turn you loose?
Just our sponsors. I mean, we can't do this without our sponsors. We're happy to have Big Papa Smokers on board, Fab, Barbecue Guru, Grizzly Coolers, and Yoder Smokers.
Darren Worth, Iowa Smokey D's. Anything you're plugging tonight?
Well, I mean, we're part of the Big Papa Elite team. We're proud of it, using the products, putting the West Coast offense to work week in and week out. And, the only thing I'll plug is my wonderful staff at the restaurants that we own that allow us to go out and live our passion every day.
And, of course, last but not least, Rod Gray. What are we plugging tonight?
Well, I'm gonna plug Grease Lightning, my 6-year major sponsor who just agreed to go 7 years. so they're back for 2014. The Kansas City Barbecue Store helps me out quite a bit. And my own rubs and sauces, eatbarbecue.com, spelled with a C. Those are my plugs for tonight.
Rod Gray is the pitmaster of Pellet Envy. Mark Lambert is the pitmaster of Sweet Swine O' Mine, and we missed him this segment. That's too bad. Darren Worth, however, was here. He is the master of the pit for Iowa's Smoky D's, and Dan Hickson is the pitmaster of Three Eyes Barbecue Team and the current KCBS Team of the Year. Gentlemen, really appreciate the time tonight, and good luck to each and every one of you this coming weekend.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
You got it. There they are. Dan Hickson, Darren Worth, Rod Gray. Missing Mark Lambert. Damn it! Marky! What happened? We'll catch him on the flip. If he wins, we'll just catch him back next Tuesday, and we'll see how it goes, right? Absolutely. For sure. It'll be just that easy. All right, folks, quick public service message from Stephen DeFranco of Stephen DeFranco Jewelers. Look, Thanksgiving is coming up. You know what's coming up after Thanksgiving? Christmas, Hanukkah, your respective holiday, whatever the case may be. Stephen DeFranco has the perfect answer if you need a new watch. An incredible selection of timepieces for mom, for dad, for grandpa, whoever. Bulova watches. Why spend a ton of money on a watch if you don't have to? Bulova watches, stylish, affordable, starting under $200. Bulova watches come in traditional court style, retro-style automatic versions, chronograph, skeletons, traditional styles. Fill the Bulova line of timepieces. The Precisionist. You want an accurate watch? How about the most accurate watch in the world? The Bulova Precisionist is just that watch. The exclusive movement of the Bulova Precisionist breaks down the second-hand movement into 16 segments per second, giving that second hand a smooth moving appearance. Steel and titanium versions available as well. I have one of those. And then, of course, the Accutron, the high-end without the high-end price, the Cadillac of the Bulova line. The Accutron, the pinnacle of the high-end design without breaking the bank, starting at $600. Bulova Accutron watches give you the high-end style, quality, and lifestyle without breaking the bank. Now, you like the Citizen watches? Are you a gadget junkie? Citizen is perfect for the gadget guy. EcoDrive technology converts light into energy, powering your watch perfectly and accurately. No need for a timer on your barbecue cooking. Citizens have multiple timers along with alarms, multiple time zones, and of course you have the Philip & Company watches. Many high-end European watch companies use Swiss movements from a company called ETA. Philip hand assembles each watch personally using ETA movements. And hand-picked components starting at $895. Philips not only have elegant European style, but they're very affordable. All the Philips watches are serial numbered and registered with Philip himself. So head on over to StephenDeFranco.com. That's Stephen DeFranco, DIFRANCO. And pick out a new watch. Call Steve directly, 440-943-2700. Tell him you're a barbecue brother or sister, and he will give you the real discount on the new watch you're about to purchase. He's not allowed by the manufacturer to show the real prices on the website. Call in, 440-943-2700 or StephenDeFranco.com. We're back to wrap up right after this and get you a bottle of Sweet Smoke Q Juice coming up out of the break. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Time on the show when we give stuff away for no money. That's why it's free of charge. You can win stuff and I'll give it away for free.
All right, you can win a bottle of Sweet Smoke Q Juice from Jim Elser. SweetSmokeQ.com. Sweetsmoke, the letter Q.com. And you have to send me an email, and in the subject line, Kingsford Invitational Roundtable. Kingsford Invitational Roundtable. Send it to me. You'll get a bottle of Sweet Smoke Q Juice. Thanks again to Jim Elser, pitmaster of Sweet Smoke Q. Sweetsmoke, the letter Q.com if you want to buy yourself some right now and forego the pain of losing if you don't win. Man, what was the thing I just said? I'm not even drinking. I'm sure somebody has already answered. Well, I don't remember what I said, but I'll remember when I see it. So whatever I said, you shoot it up there. All right. Sounds good to me. Good luck.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right. I remember what it was. A little worried about me. 877-448-0433, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your winner of Sweet Smoke Q Juice. This guy never wins anything. Don G, a winner! Winner! Don, send me your shipping info. Unless it's attached. Let me check. It's attached to the email. Then, yeah, send me your shipping info. And we'll go from there. Thanks again to the Kingsford Invitational Roundtable. I'm not sure exactly where Mark Lambert fell off into that, but I'm sure that was more on my side. Kingsford Invitational Roundtable. No, I said Square Food. All right, wait, hold on a second. Don didn't win. Disqualified. Somebody send in a new email and say Don G didn't win. And you can win a bottle of Sweet Smoke Q Juice. Don G, not a winner. Not a winner. You're not a winner, Don. Not good for you. All right, let's wrap it up. Why not? Uh-oh. Yeah, let's wrap it up. All the way back in the first hour, we had... hold on, my page just dropped. What the hell just happened? Oh, there we go. Sorry, all the way back. Steve Wilson from the Pit Crew Barbecue of SoCal came on. Sylvie Curry wins Sweet Smoke Q Juice, by the way. Good job, Sylvie. Way to step up. Steve Wilson was in, talked about his win in Laughlin, Nevada this past weekend against 85 teams. Good for him. Scott Roberts also joined us around 9:35. He talked about sauces and rubs, his latest review. And then in the second hour, we had, of the four, we missed Mark Lambert. My apologies. But we had Rod Gray, Dan Hickson, and Darren Worth from Iowa Smoky D's Pellet Envy and Three Eyes Barbecue. They will be competing at the Kingsford Invitational this coming weekend, while everybody else is out in Las Vegas taking part in the World Food Championships. They'll be competing for $50,000, maybe even $60,000, $55,000. I think I might be on the hook for $5,000 something. Very worried about that. We'll look into that first. Tomorrow we have Ray Lampe. We also have Stuart Powell from Cook Shack on tap for the Hump Day Barbecue Show, so look forward to that. And when we come back next Tuesday, we will be at a new temporary location. You won't be able to tell any difference, but I will. Because I'm moving out of this house. The original Barbecue Central studios will be no more as far as the broadcast home of this show that we've been doing for almost 6 years now. A lot of great times in this home, and a lot of great things in my life happen in this home. So I will miss it. I will miss it. But I won't miss you. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday, where we are at a location to yet to be determined, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.